Good morning, children. Our today's topic is about chemiosmotic hypothesis. This hypothesis is actually about the synthesis of ATP in the chloroplast. Here we have seen that ATP is synthesized, and here also we have seen that ATP is synthesized in the cyclic and non-cyclic photophosphorylation. But how do the synthesis of ATP takes place, that we are discussing here with the help of chemiosmotic hypothesis. Okay, now actually this is linked to the development of proton gradient across the membrane. What is proton gradient? We are to discuss it in detail in next we are going to discuss that what is proton gradient and how do the synthesis of ATP takes place. But before that, here we can discuss that synthesis of ATP takes place both in the process of respiration and in the process of photosynthesis. But in respiration, it takes place in the mitochondrial membrane, but in photosynthesis, it takes place in the lumen of the thylakoid. Okay, first I want to recall you that what is thylakoid. So thylakoid is actually the each sac like structure of the grana lamella which is present in the chloroplast. Recall the structure of the chloroplast in which grana lamella are there, which are present in bundle. So each sac like structure of the grana lamella is called as thylakoid. Now here we are discussing that here they have shown the structure of one of the thylakoid, and this is the membrane of the thylakoid, and this is the lumen of the thylakoid, and this is the photosystem 1 and photosystem. This is photosystem 2 and photosystem 1 is there on the thylakoid membrane, and these are cytochrome. That means it is the electron transport system or electron carriers are there through which the electron is transferred once the electron is emitted by this photosystem. So this we have discussed already when we were discussing the cyclic and non-cyclic photophosphorylation. Today our topic is that how do the synthesis of ATP takes place. So this ATP is synthesized due to the proton gradient. So first of all we are to see that how do the proton gradient takes place. Actually proton gradient, that means it is the difference of hydrogen ion concentration in the lumen of the thylakoid and outside, that is in the stroma. I want to show you the structure of the chloroplast which is given back here in your book. You can see that these are the thylakoids, each sac-like structure, and this is stroma. So this each thylakoid is been drawn there in the detail like this. This diagram is only this way. So outside the thylakoid, what is there? Stroma. As you can see, the stroma is here outside the thylakoid. So now I am going back to the same diagram here, that you can see this all is stroma and this is the lumen of the thylakoid. Now first point is that how do the gradient is created. So first point is given here, that number 1, that photolysis of water actually takes place in the lumen of the thylakoid, and once the photolysis of water will be there, as I have discussed you earlier, these hydrogen ions are formed, so that the concentration of hydrogen ion will increase in the lumen of the thylakoid. So this is the one region that how do the hydrogen ion concentration increase in the lumen. Second point is little bit complicated. Here what is being discussed, that once this photosystem get excited due to the absorption of light energy, so the electron is emitted. Now this electron is accepted by electron acceptor. So as I have written, just to explain this point only, that this electron acceptor is actually present in the stroma, first electron acceptor. Once this again I want to recall you here, as this get excited, so that electron is emitted and this electron acceptor is present in the stroma. Now this electron will transmit this electron not to the electron acceptor but to the hydrogen carrier, and this hydrogen carrier will first absorb the hydrogen or take the hydrogen from the stroma, so that the concentration of hydrogen in the stroma will decrease, because hydrogen carrier will take the hydrogen from the stroma. And now once it will take the electron from primary acceptor, then this hydrogen carrier will now transmit its protons to the electron carrier, and now these protons will again go back to the lumen or pumped back to the lumen. This is been explained here, that electron move from the photosystem, that means this photosystem, as I have shown you in the previous diagram also, are transported across the membrane. ये membrane के across चले गए हैं, and there the primary acceptor is located outer side the membrane, that means it is in the stroma, and it transfer its electron not to the electron carrier but the hydrogen carrier. That means this electron acceptor is a hydrogen carrier, and this molecule removes the proton from the stroma. That means this molecule will remove the protons from the stroma, so that the amount of protons will decrease in the stroma. And when this molecule passes on its electron, क्योंकि इलेक्ट्रॉन तो इट हैज़ बीन टेकन फ्रॉम फोटोसिस्टम, तो व्हेन इट विल पास इट्स इलेक्ट्रॉन on the inner side of the membrane, then proton is released into the inner side or lumen side of the membrane. Inner side of the membrane, when electron carrier, when it passes its electron to the electron carrier, because electron carrier are lying on this membrane, so when it passes its electron to the electron carriers, then simultaneously the hydrogen is pumped to the lumen. So that way, this is second point by which the concentration of hydrogen increases in the lumen. Third point is that this NADPH2 is also formed here. You can see the NADPH2 is also formed in the non-cyclic photophosphorylation. So once this NADPH2 is formed in the photosystem, then hydrogen is required. This hydrogen is also extracted from the stroma, so that the amount of hydrogen again will get decreased by this second cause into the stroma. It will decrease because it is being extracted from the stroma. It is here written that NADP reductase enzyme located in the stroma, along with the electron that come from the acceptor of the pigment system 1, protons are necessary for the reduction of NADP to NADPH2. These protons are removed from the stroma. What they are saying, that electrons will be received from this side, but protons are also required. So these protons will be removed from the stroma. Okay, so that way these protons will reduce in the stroma, and here it is increased, so that here what will be formed? A proton gradient. Gradient means outside the protons are less and inside the lumen the protons are more, so that there will be a facilitated diffusion. Facilitated diffusion, that means the movement of ions from their higher concentration to lower concentration, but they are not moving automatically, they are moving through this transmembrane channel, and this transmembrane channel is being formed by the F0 ATP synthetase. Actually, this is an enzyme which is located here on the membrane of the thylakoid. Its base, that is F0 particle, is embedded in the thylakoid membrane, but this F1 particle of the ATP synthetase is protrudes out of the membrane. when these proton move from their higher concentration to lower concentration through this ATPase enzyme, then conformational changes takes place in the F1 particle, and by the time, during this time only, the synthesis of ATP takes place and raw material ADP is present in the stroma itself. So that way the synthesis of ATP takes place due to the once the proton gradient is broken down. So here it is written ki why proton gradient is so much important, because we are so interested in proton gradient because when the gradient is broken down, that leads to the release of energy. And how it is broken down, I have already discussed you कि due to the facilitated diffusion of the proteins means ATPase, then this is consist of F0 and F1 particle. So the conformational changes takes place in the F1 particle and release into the synthesis of ATP. Okay, so that way the ATP and NADPH2, these two powers are formed in the non-cyclic and cyclic photophosphorylation. So this ATP and NADPH2 is also formed in non-cyclic photophosphorylation. This ATP is used in the process of dark reaction to reduce the carbon dioxide to carbohydrate, or in the biosynthetic reaction. Dark reaction is also called as biosynthetic reaction because in this the synthesis of glucose takes place. So this is all about the chemiosmotic hypothesis, that is very very important, and mainly in this we are to think about the proton gradient. Thank you.